I want to show you two additional versions of the kneeling hip flexor stretch from the last video. To see the details of this stretch, please go to my previous video. But here, just to recap the first version of the stretch, this is in a front to back direction. First, I'm taking the pelvis and turning it up and back as if I had a bucket of water and I wanted to spill the water behind me. And as I do that, the hand comes up and I shift forward. So this is just a quick recap, but again, go to my previous video for details. The second version is lengthening the hip flexor in a side-to-side motion. We call that the frontal plane. So the hip moves in 3 dimensions, so a complete stretch will lengthen the hip flexors in 3 different directions. So the details of the stretch, I'm doing the same pelvic tilt forward to back as in the previous stretch, but I'm also adding an additional direction. I'm shifting the hip, in this case, the right hip, I'm shifting it towards the right as I bring that arm up over my head. And the pelvic tilt still happens from front to back. So if I'm doing this now, the pelvis tilts forward and back. It also shifts to the right as the arm goes up and over. So shifting forward and to the right, up and over, and I'm trying to extend that hand as much as possible here. And this is just the same stretch from the back view. As you can see, my right hip is shifting out to the right. I'm extending my arm as much as possible. I'm lengthening the entire right lateral side of the body as well as the hip flexor. So again, don't forget that pelvic tilt forward to back as in the first version of the stretch. And the third and final version of this stretch, we're lengthening the hip flexor in a rotation fashion. This is called the transverse plane. So I'm still taking the pelvis, tilting the water behind me, taking that bucket of water, spilling it behind me, and at the same time, I'm rotating towards my front knee. And this is happening from the center of my body.